Support the channel on patreon.com/manlightfoot. I gotta say, I get genuine enjoyment from Amphibia. And why wouldn't I? It has a strong assortment of fun, lovable, and sometimes...
Why don't we do something fun instead?
Shall we say excitable characters? Yep, there's just a great collection of memorable characters that put a nice sense of community to this series. But there are 3 characters in particular I think brings a bit of a moral gray area to the show that's worth discussing. I'm talking, of course, of Sasha and Marcy. Why was they even worthy of a gasp? Anyway, they're basically the catalyst that started off this whole misadventure in Frogland. Of course, this was sort of an added bonus for them being able to grow and find something within themselves that they didn't know was there, even if they kept almost getting killed in order to find it.
Hi there, my name's Marcy.
Now, of course, this growth brought some things into perspective. With Anne, we know she had problems taking responsibility for things and letting herself get pushed around by Sasha, not to mention her very skewed views of what friendship is. Be it thinking your friend should always do something you want to do, even if it's bad and they don't want to do it, or trying to change your friends to fit your comfort. Now you have Sasha and Marcy, who don't exactly get a change for their characters, but just get to be more of themselves than when they were back in the human realm. Sasha going hard in the paint with being in control of things, and Marcy is more overzealous of her interests, even to the point it got her and her friends stuck in Amphibia. Not to mention... But we've all been through enough of that trauma. As you can imagine, this would drive a significant wedge between all 3 girls that definitely brings up the question, should they still be friends? It's a bit of a tough question to ask considering where things are right now for them. Anne's back in the human world with the Planters, Sasha's in Wartwood helping defend it, and after betraying Anne's trust, and we don't even know what to make of Marcy just yet.
She's not dead.
Thinking more of everything that's happened to them so far, things become pretty blurry. We know with Anne she's learned to stand up for herself and not take anyone's crap, especially Sasha's.
You got knocked the fuck out, man!
She's grown more responsible with how she has to take care of the Planters on her world now. She's kinda learned to be a leader type rather than the follower type that she used to be. Her time on Amphibia has brought out the best parts of her that even she didn't know was there, be it through her pseudo-sibling bond with Sprig and Polly, or her pseudo-grandfather/granddaughter bond with Hop Pop. Sure, they had to go through some hard times.
So you've been lying to me? This whole time?
No! Well, yes, but it's complicated.
I was a terrible town protector, you guys. I slacked off when I should have been watching you. I unfroze Sprig when I got bored.
I'm fine.
Are you okay?
Oh yeah, never felt...
Some very, very hard times, but they got through it and grew a lot from those experiences, as well as her connection to the people of Wartwood. Her connection there helped bring out a lot for her. With this newfound growth for Anne, it's pretty easy to see that she might have some contention with Sasha and Marcy. I mean, it's pretty hard not to be mad at someone who manipulated you and the other who smooth lied to you and got you stranded in some strange amphibious world. Couldn't really blame her if she wanted to give up on them. Now, with a bit of season 3 out, we know she still worries for Sasha and Marcy, obviously, which is expected. I mean, they're still stuck in a dangerous world with a tyrannical king trying to rule all worlds who, you know, did that to one of them. So yeah, her good nature is definitely gonna kick in and make her worry for her friends. But it's a wonder how that interaction is gonna be if and when they see each other again. Though it's not a one-way street. Sasha definitely was the one with the most negative history with Anne that we saw. She manipulated Anne into doing stuff that would get her into trouble, constantly bossed Anne around, poisoned her water supply, burned her crops, and delivered a plague onto her house. No, wait, wrong cartoon. But you see my point, she wasn't a good friend to Anne in their upbringing. Things became even more rough when Sasha teamed up with the Toads in order to kill Hop Hop, and it got murkier when she pretended to go good just to help the Toads take over Newtopia. Now, she did team up with Anne and Marcy to fight back against King Andrius, but obviously it can be seen as kind of a no-brainer. There's definitely a lot of baggage for Sasha. The only thing is there's not a lot of history to look back on for her. We don't even know what her parentage is, which is kind of what prompted my theory on her in my second thoughts video. I do believe that she possibly comes from a foster home or so, since she was willing to stay in Amphibia. Because when you think about it, if she had a good home life, she wouldn't want to stay in Amphibia at all. So it makes you think maybe she's adopted and doesn't care for adoptive parents, or she lives in a foster home that's not so great, or she's from an orphanage. It would explain her sense of strength if she's from an orphanage or foster home, because she may have had to fend for herself, which is why she stuck up for Anne and Marcy when they were younger. It would also put into perspective her no-nonsense attitude she has, since she has no patience for bullshit. Also could explain that troublemaker persona of hers, since she may not have been raised right. Really leaves you wondering what the ending for this series is gonna be like.
Man, what the fuck is you talking about?
What the fuck was that?
I'm sorry, man. No, I wasn't thinking about it when I did it. I should have said like Burger King.
Hello, here's a nice little fact about me. I'm making a movie, a short film called Extra Introverted. It's a story about a man named James struggling to break away from his comfy hermit lifestyle. He's gotten so wrapped up in his gaming escapism that he neglected his social life. His friend Dean tries to break him out of this bad habit, but Dean is not all what he seems to be. Want to know what's up with Dean? That's where you come in. Making movies costs a lot of money, so we're running a crowdfunding campaign to get this short film made. My team is a group of dedicated filmmakers who are itching to put the work in and make this film a reality. Now, with this being a crowdfunding campaign, that means there's perks. For $1, you get your name in the end credits. For $5, you get a shout out video for the cast and crew. For $20, you get a poster that'll be featured in the movie with your name on it. And there are even more perks to be seen. You can also contribute just to help us make this movie. There's more info on the crowdfunding webpage that you can see when you visit. Making movies is a passion I've always wanted to make a reality, and this is a story that I feel will connect with many. So please go to the Indiegogo link in the description and help us fund this. Your contributions, whether big or small, will be greatly appreciated. So please contribute today. Of course, you get to Marcy, who at the end of season 2, we found out she wasn't exactly as trustworthy as she seemed. At first, you think she's just this happy-go-lucky goofball who's pretty clumsy, but can be capable at stuff.
Woke up in Newtopia, or I fell down a flight of stairs. Oh, come on! There wasn't even any fire this time!
But it all changes once you find out she knew about the music box and that it would transport her and her friends to Amphibia. This is a pretty messed up thing to do, obviously, but Anne and Sasha and we, the audience, find out this stemmed from her finding out she was going to have to move back in her world. So you get her wanting to just run away and escape into a fantasy world where she wouldn't have to worry about real life and such. But you can't ignore the fact that she got her friends trapped there, which could have gotten them killed, as well as helped an evil tyrant come close to world domination who was gonna rain down a whole new level of freak on everyone.
You selfish motherfucker.
But I'm getting sidetracked a bit. It does put things into a moral gray area when you remember she tried to correct her mistake in the end by sending Anne and the planters home. So you know she has some level of redemption to her. The only thing though is if she makes it out okay, since she's being held by Andrius in some sort of rejuvenation chamber. And there's also the fact that if and when they beat Andrius, what happens to Marcy then, because her parents probably still have to move anyway. Which begs the question, what they've been doing since it was confirmed they've been gone for 5 months. I tell you, there's a lot to be seen for this final season that really makes you wonder if Sasha and Marcy can still be friends, let alone would they. Though for that last part, it seems that they might be able to make it work.
Just let go!
She's still very much worried for them and wants to make proper amends. It's probably gonna be rough and an awkward reunion, but she's willing to try if she's so concerned about them. I elaborate more, but as of this video, there's not much of season 3 to go off of for Anne in terms of wanting to make amends, so bear with me. Sasha has shown that she's regretful of her actions and wants to be a better friend, especially to Anne. We saw this in the season 3 episode called Turning Point.
Oh, Anne, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have tried so hard to be in control again. In the end, where did it get me? Well, that ends now. I want to be someone better. Someone that deserves you.
Well, shoot, I'm crying because that was beautiful.
She does take it a bit further by defending Wartwood and helping the citizens fight back against a giant robot. She's definitely putting the work in to better herself and have the actual growth Anne got. And Marcy... the show will get to that. It's easy to see that by the end, these three may overcome this major drama between them. You think about that bond they were able to build since they were kids. It would be difficult to see them want to end it all off because of all the crap they went through. Then again, this show is from the same crew that also impaled a kid on screen, so I don't know. They might think these girls haven't suffered enough. Matt Brawley and them can be pretty freaking harsh with the audience's emotions, but I'm sure they'll make it through just fine. Overall, I do think these three should remain friends, and will find a way to make their friendship work. It will take a lot of effort from all of them, and possibly a lot of therapy and counseling, but they've shown that they can learn and grow and become better people. It all comes down to what the rest of the season has to offer. But that's just a thought.
Bye.